Hey there guys, this is Obsidian Chill, kind of the video for today, and trying something a little bit different with the footage here. Essentially, this is a DCUO live stream that I downloaded. On the left side, it's Batuba's footage of him following a league on stream. On the right side, it was Ocean's. So basically, I just overlaid my footage that I recorded over Ocean's point of view, so you can see my point of view in this run. If the footage doesn't work out, that's fine. I can try something different in the future. I just thought I'd basically try this time and see how it worked out. So you can let me know in the comment section if this is, if something comes up like this again, where it's like a split screen, if it works out, or if you just rather see my footage, because if you know by the title, it's basically a speedrun tournament. As you can see, the bracket kind of pop up here from the stream. So there's probably about maybe 100 people that know what I'm talking about here, and the multi-thousands of you have no idea what we're talking about. So let's kind of touch on that here. So probably would have been a month ago or so now. MEPS basically just mentioned on stream that they were going to be trying to do like a speedrun tournament in the game. We didn't really know any details about it. My guess is that they wanted a similar concept to like Friday Night Legends, just trying something new for community involvement or for whatever reason. So what it was going to be, well, we didn't know any details at the time, but we found out December 4th is when it first started. And December 4th we learned a little bit more. December 4th they ran Fellowship the Arcane Elite. Now we're running False Idols Elite. So it seems like it's going to be Elite raids, older raids. So it's not that they couldn't include Convergence on the Making or like Fractured God Sphere Elite, stuff like that. That certainly could be coming towards the finals or other weeks, because we don't know how long this is going to run. I mean, you can kind of guess from the bracket, but essentially what it is that these live streams run bi-weekly. So December 4th, December 18th. I don't know if the next one's going to run because it's Christmas, I believe, so it might be January. But basically, teams sign up on the forums on Monday, usually Monday. MEPS posted this week's on Wednesday. But usually it's Monday, then we know the raid, and then basically just groups sign up on the forum post on the DCUO forums. Basically they say, this is what server I play on, this is my team captain, this is my team name, and then MEPS will contact you guys directly if you got picked for the week. So far there hasn't been any Xbox or Switch leagues. I don't see why that, well, maybe not Switch, because I don't know if the developers have Switch accounts, but I mean Xbox is plausible because they've been on Xbox before during live streams. So there's no reason to expect why an Xbox team couldn't participate, because this week we have a EU server as well. So the concept is, it's not two leagues running against each other. That's why it doesn't have to be on the same server. It's basically just time-based. So essentially, whoever finishes first, they take that time. So that's why you can have multiple servers run at the same time. So I would assume an Xbox could participate. So we don't know, like I said before, we don't know how long this is going to run. I mean, you can guess from the bracket, but we don't know what raids are going to be till Monday. As of right now, we have no idea what the rewards are going to be. MEPS hasn't given us what the rewards are going to be for the speedrun tournament. He told me that it's going to be in-game rewards. That they're going to be rewarded for first place and second place. But in terms of what those rewards are going to be, no idea. We don't know yet if it's going to be a style item, it's going to be a base item. But in-game rewards means that it's not going to be more like, it's not going to be like station cash or stuff like that, or loyalty points. It's going to be some kind of in-game item. Similar to like survival mode, maybe like a crown or a base item, something like that. I have honestly no idea. It hasn't been shared at all. So if something like this is going to interest you, if you're on, I mean, don't quote me on the Switch server, but like I said, if this is going to be something that's interesting you on Xbox or EU or US server, I would certainly check out the forums every other Monday, or just tune into their live streams on their official DCUO Twitch channel and kind of get some more information about that. So touching on what you can kind of expect going into it, or kind of prepare yourself, you know, most people delete their older augments, which is definitely a concern for some of the raids, especially like if they do Clock Tower Elite. You've got that constant 20k dot on final boss. You've got the not being able to turn off the drones. Obviously in the Fractured God Sphere, if you got rid of those augments, you'd be pretty much dead, because unless you passed all Grail's execute phases, then you'd get one shot. Including taking less damage on the last boss. So you can certainly expect that you're going to have to go up and get your old augments, which is not really a big deal because there's plenty of XP packs around. You can buy catalysts from the vendors with source marks. So it's not like it's a giant concern having to get augments, but just be prepared that if you deleted your augments, then more than likely you're going to need them for the speedrun tournament. Other than that, it's really not too much. Like there's not a lot of the raids now are designed that there's not too many mechanics or things you can skip. It's really straightforward linear progression for a lot of these raids. Like say Clock Tower, you can skip some of the ads, but some of the ads don't even. You have to kill them so they open the door. So it's like you can't even skip that much because there's certain blocks to that progress. So really in the beginning, you saw everyone run by. These ads you can skip in the very beginning, so you just basically book it to the final door. I'm not sure, as you can see, we got into the first boss fight a little bit faster. I'm not sure if the other league realized that you'd have to kill all the ads at the front door. So basically you can run by all the ads, but once you get to the first gate there, you have to kill all the ads that were in that spawn area or the gate door is not going to open. So that's why it's best to pull those ads around the corner, such that by the time if you're slow DPS, then the other ads are going to catch up, you get mixed up, and you spend more time. So really, first boss, there's really nothing you can skip in terms of that. It's basically just using the same mechanics that we used, or everyone used, back when False Idols Elite came out. You have to separate the Minotaur, because the Minotaur is going to shield everyone else, and then you have to keep, if the Minotaur and the Phoenix are beside each other, then you're going to have to keep lunging the Phoenix when the Phoenix heals, so that's going to be just too annoying. So as you saw, it's still going to require 2 tanks. I don't think that is solo tankable, just because you're going to have Minotaurs on you, the Phoenix, you're going to have to lunge, you got the Piper stuns, so it's just, that's going to be way too chaotic to solo tank. Better just have 2, just for that part. After the first boss is done, you can skip through all those ads. The other league that we were running against didn't realize that or didn't know. It's not necessary whatsoever to kill those ads. We skip them through our... if you look at my channel there, you're going to see a False Idols Elite speedrun back in like November 2019, and we skipped the ads there. So it's like CR 279 ads. So if you can skip them there, you can skip anything else. Because I think they died to the Bowmaster in the hallway a couple times on one instance there. But essentially, second boss basically just turns into a nuke fest. We did have his Lava Forge weapon phase where we had to turn the anvil cogs, but we just had a healer pop a supercharge, and I popped a supercharge as well. And that basically just overrides that. Technically, he will heal if you don't. So if the Forge cogs come up, you have to turn that, but it just depends on your DPS. You can't push him out of that phase if your DPS is fast enough. As you saw, we skipped the phase. So, and really, once the ads are... once that boss fight ends and all the ads are there, it's really not too much of a hassle to just run by him. Only one person has to make it to the final, and then you'll be able to open that gate. So really not much of a concern there as well. So last bosses were some actual strategies that can come into play. There's basically 2 ways. There's a couple ways, but there's basically essentially 2 main ways to approach the fight. So back when False Idols Elite was current, you had 2 tanks. Basically you had one tank separate Merciless, and the other tank would take the ads. Because once you start to kill Merciless, or once you damage his areas, ads are going to come up from the sides, and then Merciless will eventually do his Battle Lust mechanic and his Battle Lust aura. If that spreads to the tank, they lose stats. So basically at that point, an ad can basically one-tap you and kill you, which happened earlier in the live stream as an example. So it's just that you can do that, but then you need 2 tanks. So we didn't want to do the 2 tank method. So besides that, what you can do is basically have Ares die. So as the beginning, you just saw right there, kind of like a second go my clip, Merciless will do a ground slam with his weapon, similar to what his main mechanic is, and like False Idols Elite and a Phoenix Cannon if you haven't run False Idols. So the reason why we're standing around doing nothing is that once Ares dies and is out of the fight, the ads are tied to his Ares. So if Ares is dead, so basically you have the chance, if Ares was died, you could res him once. If he died again, he was out. But since the ads are tied to Ares, if we wait for Ares to die and not res him, then we can kill Merciless without having to worry about any ad spawning, so that we don't need a second tank and don't have to worry about the Battle Lust aura. So basically, we drop all our orbitals at the beginning. Technically, Merciless was supposed to do his basically his enrage mechanic where he slams the ground, but he got pushed out of it in terms of our damage. Older raids like this weren't designed to have this type of damage with like Gemini circles and supercharged spam and everything else. So being like all 330, 331 CR. So it wasn't, mechanics weren't designed for that. That's why he's getting pushed out of so many of his. I think he got pushed out of the Battle Lust aura as well. So once you damage Merciless enough, the coin pops up. So the coin pops up. At this point, technically, it becomes there's no point to do any more damage. The tank could pull the ads. I mean, the tank could like lasso the ads away too. I mean, the lasso artifact technically works for this. I think the other league on the left-hand side used lasso, or they also had 2 tanks. I think one tank took merciless and the other tank took lasso and pulled the ads away. Essentially, you just want Wonder Woman to destroy the coin. The ads or the skeleton ads or whatever, I forget what they're called exactly, but they're going to pop out and spawn in between and then try to attack Wonder Woman. Once again, like I said, there's 2 methods to do this. On the left hand side, the other league pulled their ads away. We were damaging the ads because, I mean, the ads die quickly anyway, so there really wasn't much of a point of not DPSing them. We just chose to DPS them. We didn't have to, but that was our choice. And you're going to see shortly, this is where we screwed up. So a player in our group launched an orbital strike, which triggered Merciless's enrage mechanic on the right hand side. So when Merciless enrage mechanic triggers, he will do the ground slam, and that kills Wonder Woman. So when a Wonder Woman dies, that restarts her mechanic, so she takes like 45 seconds to spawn or something like that, whatever the amount is, but doesn't matter at that point. We'd already lost because Wonder Woman has to respawn. The other group had no worry about that. So that was unfortunate. That basically cost us the entire speed run, just that one orbital. It's a little bit of a shame. I mean, yeah, we were getting trolled pretty hard in trade chat and stuff like that. And I mean, not that we were talking any shit before or talking any beef or anything like that, but I mean, it is what it is. It's an orbital strike. As you can tell from the whole speedrun tournament or leading up to this point in this video, the other league didn't have any strats at all. They just went in DPS. I mean, they didn't skip ads in the hallway. They didn't. They basically 2-tanked here. Didn't know, either they didn't know or didn't care about the Ares ad mechanics. I'm sure that if they would have realized that they could have skipped all the ads in Ares, they would have. But I mean, it is what it is. We unfortunately lost this because of that orbital strike. And that's all it is. So, I mean, in my point of view, it's not that the other team won, it's that we lost. But, I mean, like I said before, if your league's interested in signing up, go ahead on the DC forums, check it out bi-weekly. Take care, guys.